All right, y'all, welcome back and happy Wednesday. It's time for my keys to victory for our Tennessee Volunteers versus Syracuse. And I'm also going to tell you how I think the game's going to play out for our offense and our defense. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Later on tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be going live for our midweek chat. We want Syracuse fans to join into the conversation. Tell us why you think Syracuse has a good chance to win this game and why you think that they don't have a chance at all. Doesn't really matter, but we would love for y'all to join us then again, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel. We will have everything out for y'all pretty early so that y'all can join us. But with all that being said, let's go on ahead and jump into my keys to victory for our Tennessee Volunteers. Starting off with key number one, probably the biggest key in this game: protect the football. Syracuse defense did a good job last season of forcing turnovers, especially with interceptions. I think they might have had like 11 or 12 of them, but they do a good job with their coverage. We'll kind of break that down just a little bit more here in just a minute. But with the new offense, several new pieces, how is it going to look, right? We know that that Joey Aguilar, for the last couple of years, I mean, he hasn't done the best job of taking care of the football. If he doesn't force things, takes what the defense gives him, I think that Tennessee should be fine because we are the more talented team. I think that it's going to be tough for Syracuse to stop our offense or, maybe even stop what our defense does too. But I think that that's definitely the biggest key. Now, key number two and the final key is going to be to tackle well out in space. Obviously, this is for our defense. Now, Syracuse does a great job with different types of screens to their running backs, to their tight ends, to their wide receivers, and just like with their passing game period of getting their playmakers the football out in space. And they've got some guys that can go. I think that their wide receiver core is the deepest part of their team. We've got to make sure that we're coming up and that we're tackling. If we tackle well out in space, we can limit those big time plays that they like to generate with their offense. Now, typically, first game of the season, teams don't do the best at tackling, but Tennessee last year, we did a really nice job there. It's nothing that you can do about it. There's rules in place that say that you can't do full speed tackling, but only for like so many days over the course of a week. So it's not just going to be a Tennessee problem. It'll be kind of a problem with everybody, but we'll have to watch out for that. So with all those things being said, let's talk about Tennessee's offense versus Syracuse defense. First and foremost, there are, several new pieces to this offense. We got 4 new offensive linemen. 2 of the guys will have been vets at different schools, right? So coming in, already having played some, I think that Wendell Moy, really good. Sam Pendleton, also very good. So probably an upgrade from that standpoint with both of those players. But then we have some younger guys like very talented David Sanders coming in, starting at right tackle. How's he going to look? I think that this will be kind of a test for him, but a perfect opener because it's not a whole lot of dudes on their front that he has to worry about. He should look really good. But then also Jesse Perry, who I think has a chance to maybe be the best offensive lineman on this whole line. Okay, he's a young guy, didn't play that much last season, but he was the best out of our freshman offensive lineman last year, and he's gained the weight, 320 pounds at 6'6". He's a do-it-all guy, 5 for 5 guy. So it all starts up front. And I think that Tennessee definitely has the upper hand in that category. But then we also have a new quarterback. How is he going to look in this system? Now, if it was Tennessee's system from last year, I'd say we might have some problems just because teams have figured out how to slow down what we do, which I do feel like Syracuse are going to come in playing a dime, okay, which just means 6 secondary players and probably like a 3 deep safety look. Coach Brown came out and said they want to limit the big plays from Tennessee, which that's probably what that means. So had to watch out for it. Arkansas last season, they played a whole lot of dime with 3 deep safeties that bring a safety down late and try to mess with the box numbers whenever Tennessee tries to run the football. So how does that look? But with the new wrinkles that I think Tennessee will be adding in game one, we'll see a whole lot of 12 personnel, which isn't different from last year. We did a whole lot of that. But we can, the operation part of it is going to be different. We're going to have more answers to that type of a look. So I think that our new quarterback is going to be pretty friendly to what he's used to. Just take care of the football. We'll get the one-on-one shots at some point in this game where we can hit on those. But just take what they give you, hoping that the young wide receivers that are very talented can step up for us and make some plays. They're going to have to make some tough catches every now and then. But the tight ends will be utilized, I think, a lot in this game. First play, I'm going to go ahead and call my shot here, y'all. I think the first play, Tennessee goes some type of like play action boot where you've got 3 levels. You've got a guy that's underneath, really close to the quarterback that can go. And then you've got a guy on that second level, for an automatic first down. But then you've got a guy that's wide open or, maybe in single coverage or something down the field. That could be that touchdown shot just to start things off. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, Tennessee probably runs the football about 40 plus times in this game. Just lean on a running game with a stable full of backs. And I love every single one of those guys, even those freshmen. But we have 3 guys that are veterans that I feel like they should get a whole lot of touches. We got to mix them in and just like let them get comfortable playing inside of this system, as well as all the other players that might be new here. And then just as far as what Syracuse likes to do from like a blitzing standpoint. Last year, they only blitzed about like 24%, which is on the lower scale. Most teams are close to like 30%. 35 plus would be, hey, this is a very blitz heavy team. So they're definitely on like the lower end of that spectrum. And when they blitz, they like to bring it from the outside. So will we have the answers to that? Of course, the staff is going to know all about it. But with all that being said, obviously we're coming back around in a circle. Let's go ahead and move on to Tennessee's defense, right? Like, how does Tennessee's defense look versus Syracuse offense? So first and foremost, this defense is super talented. We have NFL talent on every single level. So on all three levels, I think maybe in every different spot, right? Doesn't mean that every single player is an NFL player, but we've got at least one inside of every room on this team. Extremely talented. And I think that with the team that's very, pass first heavy, right? Last year, there were 65% pass to 35% run just based off of the drop, sack every 14 dropbacks, which would mean in this game, if Syracuse is anywhere near what they were last season and they have like 52 or 53 dropbacks, we should get about 4 sacks in this one. Now, last season, we got a whole lot of pressure. We just didn't close well. I think that this team's going to close even better than last year's team did. So I'm going to say that the floor for sacks for this team in this game, we'll call it 5, but I think that we could go as high as maybe 8, 9, 10 sacks just based off of how it plays out. Now, Syracuse offense does a great job within their passing game of just getting people open, quick game stuff, so like 3-step drop, where it's hard to get the pressure. But if Tennessee can have really sticky coverage with an excellent secondary, even missing, maybe the best piece in our secondary for this game, we got a whole lot of guys that can kind of like mimic very similar things. The coverage is going to be outstanding. Y'all are going to love it. I would expect a whole lot of man coverage, but we'll have to mix in some zone with some zone blitzes. I think that if the coverage is tight enough that we take away what the first couple of reads are, then we should be able to get home. Just make the quarterback have to slow down just a tick. He's not going to be a very mobile guy. Actually, I think on the first play for them, they might try to take a shot. Every game that I've seen him starting in, he tries to take a shot on the opening play. We could get a turnover right then and there. But with all the dropbacks and not a whole lot of a threat for them to run the football, they will try to. They might try to be more balanced this season, but Tennessee's going to shut their running game down, I think, pretty quickly. You have to watch out, though, for our tackles, just because one of our best guys won't be going, in this game. He would have been like third guy that comes in. Might be one of the freshmen that comes in his spot, but we have other players that I think should be able to play well. And versus a team that their offensive line might have gotten upgraded some. I just don't think that we have to worry too much about their running game. But once that gets shut down, especially if Tennessee gets up and Syracuse goes back to the old habits, right? Like old habits die hard. If they turn into much more of like a pass first sort of a team, we pin our ears back and then we start to get interceptions. We start to get the sacks. We start to force the fumbles. And I think that at that point, it should get pretty out of hand. Now, I think that, just kind of going back to the offense, I'll give you just like some kind of like stat lines. I think that Tennessee can run for over 250 yards in this game, maybe 300 yards. I just don't see them really being able to slow us down too much from that standpoint. Passing numbers might not look great. I would say somewhere around 220-ish yards passing with a few touchdowns, something like that. I think that the first touchdown might get scored by, I wanted to say Chris Brazzell, but I'm not sure if he's going to be the starter in this game. But I do think that the first touchdown would probably be a passing touchdown. It might come from like a red zone situation, which Tennessee's red zone offense will get better this year. That's a big thing for us. But just as far as defense goes, I'm going to say, we already talked about the sacks. I think anywhere from probably like 5 to 8. But just as far as turnovers, I could see at least one interception and at least one forced fumble in this game. But I think that we will be pretty dominant. Okay, we'll get to the actual score of it on Saturday, okay, on our pregame show. Hope that y'all can join us for that. Also, hope that y'all can join us tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our midweek chat. We will be going live for that, but that's going to do it for my thoughts. Please share yours down in that comment section. And as always, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be talking to y'all a little bit later on. Thanks. Peace. Thanks for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because that keeps us growing inside of the YouTube algorithm. And if you did like this video, here's another one that you might also enjoy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.